It was Gangu's first time standing on the street, and she stood out in the crowd of low-caste dark-skinned people. The co-worker next to her helped her pose and taught her how to solicit customers. That's when a middle-aged man stopped by and became her first customer. The pimp, Sheila, happily takes out a tip to reward Gangu, who, with tears in her eyes, sets the bill on fire. From this moment on, the once innocent 16-year-old girl went up in smoke and was replaced by a new history as the queen of the red light district. From then on, she numbly poured powder on her face, dressed up carefully every day, and attracted countless men through various means. A short year passed, and Gangu became the head honcho of the place. She harvested countless rewards and generously gave them to her sisters. Because she knew that money wasn't important, prestige was the most important thing. At that moment, Sheila walks in and urges the girls to hurry up and get to work, and Gangu arrogantly stands up and asks for a day off, and to take her sisters to the movies to celebrate the first anniversary of her being sold here. Some of the girls were afraid to leave, so Gangu laughed and dragged her out. Sheila glanced indignantly but didn't dare open her mouth to retort because she knew very well that Gangu was a carving of a cash cow and she couldn't afford to offend her. She could only keep it in her mind with hatred. Soon, Grease's chance to take revenge on Gangu came. That day at 4 o'clock in the morning, the business has ended, but suddenly came to the door of a strange guest. Grease wanted to refuse, but when she heard the guest's name, a wave of malice rose in her heart. Grease woke up the sleeping Gangu, who followed the man to the room. The man pulls out money and a gun. It turns out that the man has a special hobby, which is beating up young girls. The screams spread throughout the compound and all the girls come over to check on them, while Sheila pretends to bang on the door and refuses to call her men to come help. The men went on a frenzy of fury until Gangu was beaten to the point of unconsciousness and was taken to the hospital. She was covered in bruises and had multiple other broken bones, totaling over 40 stitches. Sheila slowly took off her sunglasses, pretending to be sad and consoling, saying that being in the service business is definitely dangerous. Gangu nodded her head numbly and seemed to have learned her lesson, but in her heart, she sprouted greater ambitions. The sisters reveal that the man is one of Razan's men and that Razan rules the biggest gang in the area, so Gangu finds the gangster through her connections. The girl pulled off the body of the sarong. A scar through the whole body revealed. The black boss instantly froze in the girl's mouth to learn that this is his men did. He understands what the girl wants, offered to compensate the girl. But the girl is euphemistic, since just before leaving to leave a protective knot. The black boss understood, then recognized Gangu as a righteous sister, and sent people to protect her 24 hours a day. This umbrella Gangu did not make a big deal. That day Brothel Madam hypocritically approached Gangu and said that the man had come again, while Gangu calmly opened his mouth and asked him to offer 4 times the price. Brothel Madam said he was ready. When Brothel Madam left, Gangu immediately asked his sister to contact the black boss, and then calmly walked into that room. Brothel Madam smiled and lay down, and the screams came out again. But no sooner had Brothel Madam put on the music than the roar of a motorcade came from outside. It was the black boss arriving. He ordered his men to break down the door to the room and escort the man out. By the time Gangu walks out, the man has been beaten to a pulp. Gangu stomps down and warns the man indignantly. This time, the dry stocks complete victory, but also completely scared Brothel Madam. Brothel Madam afraid of Gangu retaliation himself, the result of living scared to death. The woman, who had spent her life for money, died with money in her hand. The next day, the girls found Gangu and handed her a snow white sari. This represented not only the highest power here, but also a greater responsibility.